Welcome back to another check-in. We're now 3 weeks into this prep. And I got to tell you, I always get so nervous and I just want to quit. I don't know that I've ever quit just because I felt nervous. I quit and canceled preps before because life just wasn't working out. And I needed to make a very important decision, but oh my gosh, I think I'm just feeling so overwhelmed at the moment. This past week was a fun week. There's so many things to share with you, but it's just a lot to pack in. And for anybody that's listening and following along to these check-ins, if you've competed, that underlying just sick feeling that you get, or at least that's how it is for me. But I am very happy with this past week's data. We've had a lot of progress just in the last couple of days, though my weigh-in data that I'm excited about will technically fall into my next 7-day check-in period. But either way, things are really starting to move and I could see it kind of happening, as the week unfolded. So I guess this past week, I had a very spontaneous trip to Greenville. So I think I mentioned it last week. We were heading out to South Carolina to participate and attend the Southeast ACSM conference, which is one of the biggest scientific sports science conferences, in the US. So that was happening. Sam was he was up for president-elect. Oh my gosh, poor guy. It must have been close. There were people walking around the conference that entire weekend with vote for Buckner badges. And I think we all thought that he had it. And then when they made the announcements at the final luncheon on Saturday, he missed out. So we were a little bit disappointed after that. But he was like, oh, well, I don't have to go to another hour-long meeting after this. It's a win-win. So we definitely enjoyed ourselves that weekend. But that was a very spontaneous trip. He kind of said to me, 2 weeks prior to leaving, oh, do you kind of want to come? And I'm like, oh, I suppose I should.
Excuse me?
So we made the most of it. Goodness, we knocked off a lot of stuff while we were there. I still obviously had to get all of my training in. So the first day, I think Thursday, Sam went and met with some of the officials and some of the students and other, professors that were meeting there on Thursday night. Well, I did some work and I also had to get a workout in. So you can see some of the training footage there of me at, I think it was called Core 27 or something like that. Core, I don't know, I'm going to butcher the numbers. All I know is it's Core Gym and they recently kind of renovated and added a few new things. They look like they have a new wellness center with sauna, infrared. It looked really cool. So I certainly enjoyed my workout. And I also got to use the app to do my program. So I have a brand new program, the Hyper Focus Glutes Part 4 program. So I'm very happy with that. You can see I'm kind of viewing or screen recording this at the moment on my computer free so that you can see. But last week I was only able to do, I think, 1 or 2 workouts from that program. I was still kind of finishing out workouts from my last one. So it was almost like a hybrid week, which is a little bit strange for me to do that, but it just was how it worked out. But you can see here, if I go back to week 1 of this program, I was able to get in 60,000 pounds of volume. So not a bad week for training, if I don't say so myself, or at least for the one session that I was able to get done. But again, it's super flexible. You can change things out if you're working out in a hotel, if you're working out in a gym with different equipment. The app allows you so much flexibility to basically go and change anything around, which is super helpful. So I very much enjoyed that feature in the app this week. So, gosh, what did we get up to while we were away? I can tell you every single meal that we basically had while we were in Greenville was eaten out. I think I packed 4 protein bars. So I went a little bit prepared because the ones that I love, I can't find them everywhere. Me, I love the good old barbell bar. And I also packed a few pre-made, ready to drink shakes in my checked luggage, which isn't something that I always do, but I really love that brand. It's the Fairlife chocolate, shakes, and they just have a really good flavor. Great profile, macro profile, and I just really enjoy them. And you can't buy those just in a regular grocery store, so they fit my macro targets quite well at the moment. It's predominantly protein with a little tiny bit of fat and some carbs, so I've been enjoying that. But every other meal was eaten out. So the fact that I was able to kind of plan ahead, have a look at some of the menus, make smart decisions around where we were going to eat, and still sprinkle a little bit of fun in there as well. You'll notice I'm putting up pictures of this past week's foods. So we went to a steakhouse one night. Goodness, we ordered, where did we go? I can't even remember what we ate, guys. I'm just going to put the pictures up so that you can see. Obviously, my memory is, I'm everywhere but last week. I'm thinking about the now. But I know I was able to enjoy a couple of cocktails. I know that on Sunday afternoon, I think we ordered espresso martinis. We had a little welcome cocktail when we arrived at the hotel, which was nice. So I was able to fit in like little treats here and there. I enjoyed a half of a carrot cake while I was away. There was this restaurant that had just, I don't know, amazing desserts. They also did, I guess, alcoholic cocktails. Not that we went and used or had those, but the restaurant was pumping. It was like a Friday, Saturday night kind of venue, and there were so many people there, and you could order these delicious decadent cakes, but then they'd make like, I don't know, cocktails with Baileys and cream and like things that you would probably consider to be more dessert-like. And they made coffees. So I know I had a few coffees from there in the morning, but plenty of good food. I even we went to a games arcade on Friday night. I think it was Friday or Saturday night, one of the nights, and played some basketball in like, you know, the arcade style. It was a lot of fun anyway. But at that evening, I ordered a turkey club sandwich. So Sam and I just split that. I had some sweet potato fries. So, you know, I'm just kind of being elective with what I had. Like I ordered that with no mayonnaise. I asked for half of the cheese because the, I guess, recipe or the way that it was listed said there was like 5 cheeses. So it's like, I don't need that many cheese slices. So I took some cheese out, just made like intelligent decisions. I had filet mignon. No, I don't think I got any pictures of that. I definitely over-ordered on one of the nights. I think my eyes were bigger than my belly. I had ahi tuna appetizer. I ordered a Cobb salad. At this point, like I was probably full. And then I'd also ordered a side of veggies and a steak, which came with Alfredo. So I've got all this food and I just looked at Sam and I'm like, you might have overdone it. So I definitely ended up having fewer calories on Saturday because I over-ordered on Friday night. But I mean, it had been a long week. I was so tired and I just needed some comfort. And honestly, it set me up for a really good session, which I will be bringing to you guys probably next week. We did a great workout just in the hotel, just kind of showing you how you can make a really good session out of minimal equipment. This gym literally had a small rack of dumbbells and a cable. That was literally it. So I walked out of there feeling very accomplished, a lot of laughs and a lot of great little tips. So stay tuned for that check-in. So as far as my data is concerned, let's pull that up and have a look here. So looking at the data from Sunday, the 23rd of February through to the 1st of March, Saturday. So that's the week of data that we're looking at. You can see here that my overall compliance to calories, even being away, came in at 104%, which is fantastic. A little bit higher than last week's calories at 1528. But given the limitations and the temptation, I think that's the other challenge that we have to deal with when you're putting yourself in those scenarios where there's amazing food, where everybody's eating and enjoy. And people are like, would you like one? Do you want to try this? It's like, no, I'm fine, thank you. So I think all the temptation aside, I think I made some really smart choices. And in fact, you can see from Friday, Saturday there, my average intake was 15, 14, and then 16. Here, I'm just highlighting these. Let me just point out where I'm actually looking there for you. So those are the 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where I was away. And I still managed to have some pretty good compliance. One of the things that you will notice again, and this is like a routine scenario, it's been happening the last couple of Saturdays or Sundays, depending which day, my protein intake is low. This past weekend was particularly low. And you know, I will 100% blame it on that damn carrot cake. It was so worth it. It was so delicious. It allowed me to have the most beautiful nap on my flight back home to Tampa. I had like this just little sugar high and then I was like, I'm totally asleep for the flight home. I think we were both dead. So outside of that one day where my protein was a little bit low, the rest of the week was quite good. And you'll see if I kind of eliminate that from the week, it brings me back up to 92% compliant, which I am still quite happy with, all things considered. So yeah, that's what I'm looking like for my calories this past week. Protein, obviously the most important things. Carbs and fats aren't really something that I spend too much time kind of getting in the weeds with, as it's not that important. I just want to make sure that I'm not going too low on carbohydrates so that I got plenty of energy in the tank for my training. So speaking of training, let's come over and have a look here at my training data. I'm just kind of highlighting this section on the screen. You can see that my total calorie expenditure for this kind of window is 1615 for my lifting. It only captures 3 of the workouts that I did in that week, and it's just by way of when I train. It kind of doesn't fall in my 7-day, like Monday to Friday windows when I would really like to be tracking my data, except I've got a Sunday to Saturday coaching spreadsheet for whatever reason. I don't know why or how that happened, but it is what it is. It's still 7 days of data, and it should be consistent week over week. My weekly volume for those 3 sessions came in at 103. So for the actual whole week of training, it's probably closer. I can actually tell you what it will be. If I sum it all up, it'd be 132,000 pounds of volume, which isn't bad at all. And then if I was to look at the 4 sessions that I actually did in the week, my overall energy expenditure just from those 4 lifting sessions came in at 2202. I got a couple of planned walks in this past week, which is good. And you can see that my steps have made a consistent increase. So this past week, they came in at 8.9, which is my highest of all, I guess, since starting back tracking for prep. So 8.935 was my average step intake this week, which they were previously down at 5,000 when I first started. So I'm happy that I've been able to get a little bit more exercise in. In fact, I was able to get a run in this week or this morning, which is awesome. I wore my new runners. Oh my God, that was so comfortable. So things are moving along. And today I had a weigh-in that actually dropped me down from 137.2 last Monday. So 7 days pass. I'm back down at 135.2. I think that was this morning's weigh-in. Yesterday was 136.9. Today was 135.2. So things are definitely moving kind of all of a sudden. And remember how I had so many weeks of just nothing, like almost probably 16 or 17 days where I was like, well, the scale's not moving. And all of a sudden it's like your body just goes, okay, we know that you've been working. Here you go. You can have it. So that patience is so important. And I think also just with the new training program, kind of that initial increase in inflammation, starting to uplift and do more planned walking certainly has made a bit of a difference, I think, to my total body inflammation at large. So it's almost like that's kind of starting to settle down as your body adapts. Now we can kind of start to see the weight dropping a little bit. So very happy with that. I don't know that I had a whole lot of questions last week from YouTube other than people were very excited that we've got data to look at and just things to kind of discuss. So with all that said, you might be wondering, well, what am I going to do this week? So because of the big weight drop that I've had over the last 2 days, I just want to point out though, 135.2 is when I just finished my run this morning. So I think that I was probably a little dehydrated. I mean, I crushed it this morning. I ran a 2-mile run, I apologize. And it was just a little bit longer than that. I have consistently been running in the high 9s. Like when I run with Sam, it's quite slow. So I was just anticipating okay, I'll probably have a mid-8, maybe low 9-minute mile pace. I looked down at my watch as I'm running through my second mile. I'm like, I had to double take. I'm like, 7:36, what? So yeah, I just put it down to the shoes. It was sunny. I was feeling good. I was ready to go. I knew I also had to get back because I had phone calls this morning and meetings. So yeah, I had a really good run, but I do think that my weight this morning when I got back and hopped on the scale is probably a slight exaggeration, but my goal will be to potentially continue to take my weight more times. So any of those skewed lows or skewed highs, that's also possible if I have more fiber, will kind of be averaged out a little bit and it'll be more representative of my true body weight. So if we have a look at my summary sheet, and let me scroll back over to this section so that you can see where we are. So this is my plan, I guess, for this contest prep series. You can see here I'm just highlighting those data points. So this past week, I was supposed to be on average at 135 and my weight is not on average 135. I am sitting at 137.2 for last week. So I'm still a little bit behind, though I'm excited and optimistic that I've caught up a little bit just over the last few days as everything's kind of started to, move in the right direction. But I'm not quite where I need to be. And again, my weekly target rate of weight loss is already sitting at something that's quite modest. I don't feel like I have the ability to speed that up a whole lot, to be honest, just because of the limitations with my hours in the day. I don't really have any more to do more. So I think this week I'm going to make a little bit of a tweak to my calories, but not for every single day. So let's go and make an adjustment to my calorie target. So let's go over to weekly adjustments. Okay, so I'd been trying to shoot for 1532. I've consistently come in at like 1540, 1580, so very close. But I'm going to drop her down by about 100 calories this week, and I'm going to aim to get my steps up and over that 9,000 mark. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more organized this week with my planned walks, because that's the only way that I can get those steps in. I don't really move a lot incidentally, unfortunately. Last week was great. You know, I was walking to and from the hotel conference to the hotel, and I was able to get steps in, you know, just going and meeting Sam, walking up to the venue, etc., etc. I won't have that luxury this week, so I'll have to be a lot more planned in when am I getting up, what time I'm going, and just get it done. So that will be the plan for this week. We'll keep my protein where it is. That doesn't need to change, but I'll bring my calories from carbs and fats down, and we might do, let's say, my fats are quite high, aren't they? Let's go 50, 120. What does that do for us? 1430. Geez, anyone think I planned that? Perfect, almost 100 calorie drop, exactly like I said. Okay, so 120 carbohydrate and 50 fat this week. So it's funny, I have routinely been more of a carb girl, and for whatever reason, this prep, my fat intake has been a little bit higher, and I think I know why. I can't eat salad without a good dressing, and for that reason, historically, I've just been not a salad girl. Preps, salads, no. I stick to more stir fries, veggies with sauces. But I realized, you know, I'm kind of getting more hungry during the day, and I don't always want to eat, you know, a big stir fry at lunch. You know, it's just not something that I want to have. I do enjoy a nice cold salad with like a warmed chicken or a warm protein sauce. So the salad bags that I've been getting are like so colorful. There's like radishes, green cabbage, purple cabbage, like kale. There's everything in them, and something crunchy, usually like a crouton. But then the dressing is very heavy, and I have not been able to successfully find a whole lot of dressings that are like creamy in nature that aren't also very high in fat. I know that I could probably make them if I made the time, but that's going to be something that I don't have a lot of. If you guys have got low calorie dressings that you've made or you've tried that aren't like just the Skinny Girl brand or the ones that you get from a typical grocery store, if you've got like some kind of secret, I don't know, dressing that you love, post it in the comments. It won't just help me, it'll help anybody else kind of looking through the comment section. I know a lot of you have been posting up. Sorry, if you know something that could help, please feel free to share. I'm all ears. I'd love to get a nice dressing that's not quite so calorie dense. But that's my nutrition. I'll still be shooting for the same fiber goal. I generally come in a little bit lower when I start dieting for fiber. A couple of reasons. Number one, I try to find a balance between things that are satisfying up here and satisfying here. And for me, that ends up being probably somewhere between 15 grams and 25, and it kind of varies within that 10 gram range. That does mean that it bounces my weight around a little bit because of the fiber discrepancy, but it's just what I need to do to be able to be adherent to the calories, and that is what drives the progress. So we'll keep that a little bit lower than perhaps the range that's listed here. I might just update this week for the sake of accuracy. 15 to 25. And then training this week, obviously I'll be doing the Hyperfocus Glutes Part 4. I think that my energy expenditure from the workouts is not going to be what I've described. I think I might have been a little bit off on those numbers. I need to update those. This is probably closer to 2,000 to 2,500. Maybe I made a typo last week. That might be what it was. I've got my 1:25 run. I did that today, although it was only 20. I'll have to track that. And then I want to make sure that my steps are somewhere between 9 and 11 this week. So I'll probably plan on the weekend to do a little bit more of my steps. By the way, it's my birthday this week. Yay! Hence the shopping last week. So Sam's birthday is technically March 6th. Mine's March 7th, Saturday. But we're 8 minutes apart. So we'll celebrate and do something together. I don't know what yet. but I have no idea what we're gonna do. I don't even have a birthday outfit. Don't have one. I'd like one, but you know when you need somewhere to go to know what you're gonna wear and buy. So looks like I'm too late for that. We'll come up with something. But I'm sure we'll have a nice weekend, but there'll be plenty of exercise planned, whether it's walking to somewhere for brunch, walking back. That makes it a little bit more enjoyable because there's like somewhere nice for you to go and you're staying active. We might even jump on our bikes this weekend and ride the bay, which is always beautiful if it's nice weather, so fingers crossed. So I will be 37. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. So yeah, that's my week ahead. Birthday celebrations coming up this weekend. I will be sure to get some footage if I eat anything nice or do anything fun, and probably post a few of those clips from the weekend. But yeah, if you've got any questions about your fat loss progress, your muscle building goals, please by all means feel free to ask those in the comment section. I do go and look at them. Most of y'all are just commenting at large what's going on and what I'm talking about, but I didn't see any questions last week to answer, which is fine. But if you do have those, please by all means drop them in the comments. And then if you'd like to get access to any of my programs, you can do that. You can access them two ways. If you are like hesitant to download or subscribe to a subscription-based service, I get it. I don't know, like I've probably got a dozen subscriptions, but I also am always like, oh, do I really need it? Like how much do I need it? Especially just like video editing ones or like, I don't know, silly stuff. But anyway, training's probably a bit different. But if you don't want to subscribe to the app, you can always get a free trial and get access to the downloadable PDFs by visiting my website. So if you go to www.bia-body.com and go to our shop, you will see all of the training programs right there available for you to download. And if you download one of those programs, you'll get the PDF, but I'll also give you a free trial to the BiaFit app. There's no commitment. You're just allowed to go and use it. You get 4 weeks to use it. If you hate it, you don't have to resubscribe. You just are giving or getting free access. So you've got two ways to get the programs. My new Hyperfocus Glutes Part 4 is available in the app. It's not yet live on the BiaBody website, but I'm optimistic that I'll be able to get that up sometime this week. So by the time you're seeing this, you should be able to find that for download as well. And if you want these coaching spreadsheets, you can also get those from the BiaBody website. They are a free download. They are for you. I have lots of free resources over there that can help with your training and plenty of other stuff. So that's all from me this week. A little bit of a short one. But I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. I hope your training is going well. And I will see you at my next update.
Working out is power. Power is you. Start training with your mind. Mind just plays with you. Open the BiaFit